Okay, the Lions just got some interesting news that I think is only going to help them next season. So, Coach of the Year candidates came out, and Dan Campbell was not on there somehow. And I think this is the extra motivation. This is always the stuff that, as Lions fans and as Lions players and the organization, we're always going against, right? We're always kind of overlooked. And that's the kind of stuff that we are going to use as fuel next season. So, if you look at it, basically what you have is Brian Dayball, okay, fine. Sean McDermott, get it. Cool story there with everything that happened with the Bills, Jaguars, Doug Peterson, Kyle Shanahan. I mean, I don't know that one. They got a loaded team defensively. I get what they did with the quarterback position. Okay, fine. And then Nick Sirianni, fine. Okay, fine. Let's look at the snubs, and I'll explain why this is so important and why it'll be so good for next year, because players love Dan Campbell, and you're looking for any edge and any extra motivation for next year to really take Dan Campbell from this coach that took us from a bad team 2 years ago when Matt Patricia had us, tried to turn us around last year with COVID and injuries, won 3 games, and then this year went 9-8, finished so strong. So Pete Carroll was snubbed. Yeah, fine. But Dan Campbell, right, since I love this, Wayne Fonts in 96 was the last time that we had just kind of some stability at the head coach position. Jim Schwartz was here, and he was the longest lasting since then. And then since then, and even before then, it was just, oh man, we can go back to the Matt Millen stuff where it was Steve Mariucci and one thing after another, and it never hit. We have a coach now, and it's huge for us. So Dan Campbell engineered from 3-13 to 9-8, but even the 3-13, you go back before that, I mean, it was just terrible. We got the 5th most points per game. We've got Ben Johnson coming back, and I found this article about Kelvin Johnson, and he explained why guys love Dan Campbell and why they're going to even play even harder for him next year. Not that they weren't already, but just knowing he gets snubbed on Coach of the Year, they love him. He says, when you have a guy that you're looking up to as coach that's been there and done everything that you have, especially because he played less than 10 years ago, I think that's a key point. There's a lot of former players that are head coaches, played in the 70s. It's like, no, he just got done playing, and his staff just got done playing. And he knows exactly what the guys are going through. I think it's easier for me as a player to look up to a guy like that. Kelvin Johnson said, like, okay, I can trust you because you've been through what I've been through, and I can trust you're going to hold the player's interest when you're upstairs talking to administration. So I think guys see that, they trust that. So we know, and we've heard story after story why guys like Dan Campbell. And as he gets young talent, continues to grow, and if he can keep them together, I think he's going to have an opportunity to have something great. That's the thing about the NFL. You don't have a long time. So if you have some time together to get it together, I think you have some opportunity. Of course, he's kind of talking about that 2014 team. Remember Glover, Quinn, Tate, when he says that if you have some time to get it together, because those guys were ripped apart. Kelvin Johnson actually were winning, go to Dallas, get screwed on a call. We all remember it. And then it just kind of gets broken up there. Matt Patricia comes in. It's just brutal. So I think this news is good. We all wanted Dan Campbell to be coach of the year. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. No, the record is not as good as Sirianni. It's not as good as McDermott's, the straight up record. But when he had to come into this organization, turn it around. I mean, completely turn it around. A lot of teams, yeah, you're like, off year, down couple of years, but they always bounce back. The Bills, the Seahawks, but not the Lions. We've been down for a long time. And so for Dan Campbell to not even get to be a candidate for it, I think it's only going to fuel the fire for next year for the Lions. You let me know in the comments. Should he have been considered? I mean, 9-8, maybe I'm missing this. Maybe it's like, nah, that was a good year, good turnaround, good story, all the way from Hard Knocks, from the 1-6 start to the complete turnaround, but it's not that big a deal. Or absolutely, this guy should be coach of the year. He turned around the Lions from an abysmal 1-6 after losing for the last 4 years, especially last year, then under Matt Patricia. For his ability to come in and make a change, he should absolutely be coach of the year. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, Craig and I read all of your comments. We may not respond to them, but we look at them. And also, be looking out. We're going to start up membership soon. So we have priority comment responses to you. So any comment, if you're a member and you give us a comment, we will absolutely respond to you. And we're going to have member only live chats and live streams as well to answer all of your questions as we go into one of the most fun drafts I can think of. We have momentum. We're going up. And we have a GM that knows exactly what he's doing. We have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. So we'll be doing live streams, member-only live streams. So make sure that you look out for that. We'll definitely let you know. And then you become a member of the channel. And we will see all of you on the next one.